Good morning. Good morning. You are listening to KSFS Radio, San Francisco. KSFS is proudly brought to you by the Department of Broadcast and Electronic Communication Arts at San Francisco State University. Some rights reserved under the Creative Commons license. Okay, good morning, everyone. Hello. I am your host, Alex Biscatelli, and we are here for Grief Support Group. First official one of the semester, second one of 2026. I almost said 2016. I feel like I've been all over the place with the years. I don't know what's going on. But this is the show where I talk all things pop culture, my research on grief and media, and I answer your advice questions. So I have good advice questions coming down the pike. Actually, I feel like, okay, so first and foremost, well, let me say what advice questions. Today we'll be talking about like finding a best friend as an adult, and then we'll be talking about supporting a parent who is grieving. So we have those coming down the pike, but yeah, I think, so I have plans for what I want to talk about today, and I'm certainly going to be talking about my thesis because there's updates there. But like, otherwise, I feel like this is like free flowing. Not really. I have a plan. I always have a plan. But the truth of the matter is, like, I was like driving in my car today, and I'm actually standing right now. Like, normally I'm sitting down as I'm doing this show. I'm standing because I have a lot of pent up energy. I just feel like yesterday I was like, oh my God, I have like nothing to talk about. I have nothing to talk about on the radio show, which if I say I have nothing to talk about, I actually have plenty. I just need to like open it up. I guess first and foremost, I want to start with I'm wearing a barrel pant. So I feel like today, I feel like it's off to a weird start. I need gas, but I left the house too late to get it. And then I'm wearing a barrel pant. So I went to Uniqlo over break and I needed like new basic shirts. And I'm desperate for pants. I feel like I've just, like I was a certain size for years. And then when my mom died, it was around the same 4 years ago. It was around the same time that, like I got diagnosed with PCOS, and I feel like the grief plus the weight fluctuation, it was just a lot. Like, I think it took genuinely like 4 years to settle into like my healthy size, if that makes sense. So I'm a size right now that I'm like buying pants for. And I have 2 pairs of jeans that like I bought in the last 6 months. And now I'm trying to look for more pants. So I bought barrel pants and I tried them on at Uniqlo, and I was like, yeah, these are sick. Like, these actually fit well. And so I bought 2 colors. I bought a black pair and a brown pair. And I'm wearing the black pair today. And I'm like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's a barrel pant. I fear it makes me look shorter. And I am 5'3", but I have this reputation of having tall energy. And I feel like you really need the clothes to like exist within that like paradigm. And these pants in particular, I fear they make me look shorter. So the way they hit also, like I didn't realize my sock would be so exposed, and I'm just like not confident in my sock choice today. And like it's fine. It's fine. There are bigger problems, but like I do feel like in the microcosm that is my day of January 29th, Thursday, I do feel like it doesn't. It's not copacetic. So I'm here. And it's fine. I need gas. Like I need, second of all, my computer. So is it a Mercury retrograde? My computer also like randomly like keeps pressing like the M key and the arrow keys. Like I'm not pressing them. I don't know what entity is. So I'm hoping my laptop also makes it through today. My backup plan, if my music isn't working, is that I'll sing a cappella. No, I'm just kidding. I think I can plug it into my phone. But yeah, so that's where we're at. But we are back for spring semester, and this is my final semester in my master's program. As I didn't do in undergrad, like people would be like, oh my God, my last first day ever. And I refused to say that because like I knew I wanted my master's degree / wanted to get my doctorate. Like I've always innately known these things. And so once again, I refuse to say that because we'll see what happens. But yeah, it feels good. Like it feels really good to be back on campus. I am not like, my workload doesn't feel terrible, although it is the first week. I'm taking I'm doing like my thesis class, and then I am also doing a psychology class, which I've never done before and I'm super excited for. It's a death and dying class. It actually meets twice a week, which is sick because I love seeing people like twice a week. And so yeah, that's after this class, which I'm super excited for. But yeah, and then I'm like tutoring and I'm doing all these things. I'm freelancing. So yeah, a lot is going on. Obviously the thesis is going to be like the biggest thing. So it's going to be a bonkers semester is what I'm predicting. But I think bonkers in a positive way. And the way I'm standing right now, I don't know if it's like help. I don't know if I feel more in control or less. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I think what I've been thinking about a lot being back this first week is, first of all, I love being around people and at school. I love it. It's my favorite feeling. All people have been wanting to do is like gossip, which I feel like gossiping has such a negative connotation, but it's actually what like gets us through. I think gossiping has a negative connotation because it's such a like looked at as this like feminine woman thing to do, but like gossiping is literally just information sharing and storytelling. Like, tell me what it is outside of that. And storytelling and information sharing are like two of the most important things humanity needs, right? And so yeah, I love gossiping. I love being back. I love being around people. So it's really felt good to be back, but I think there's a big stress, and I forget how much I talked about this in my last episode. I think the biggest stress of this time is like, what is next? I'm waiting to hear back from PhD applications, which I've kind of like, yeah, I have a whole thought process there. I've been going a lot on the grad admissions subreddit, which like, it's not even like I'm doing it in a stressful way. I'm just stressed in general. And then I also like looking at that. It's not making me more or less stressed in any sense of the word. What I do is I go on there because I no longer have Instagram or any other social media on my phone. So I open up Safari, I type, actually it's now in my like most frequently visited tabs, like when you first open Safari. So I just click it. I just do a little scroll. I do a little peruse. Sometimes there's drama in the subreddit, which to me I find fascinating and fun. So I'm able to engage with that. And by engage, I mean just like look at it and then close out of the tab. But yeah, so and then there's also, actually, I forget if I've said this, it's like honestly a whole like economy of, not really economy, there's no like money sharing, but like it's a whole little world of like the grad admissions like situation. And I feel like it's like when you're waiting to hear back, you know, of this world, like you're brought into it. And if you don't know, you don't know. Like it's like a very much if you know, you know. And I don't even mean that in like a snarky or rude way. It's just like genuinely what it is. And so if you go to the subreddit, there's a grad admission subreddit, and then there's a PhD admissions subreddit. Then there's also this like very notorious entity called the spreadsheet. And what it is someone every single year makes like a giant Google spreadsheet, and it has a tab for every single discipline. So I click my little communication tab, and then I see, and I don't touch it. I don't plan to touch it. Like I don't plan to input anything. I personally will not be information sharing, not in a gatekeepy way. I just like don't want to engage in that way. I just want to look. I just want to lurk. But there's every school listed, and then there's like tabs for like interviews, tabs for admissions or acceptances, tabs for rejections, and then tabs where people like talk to each other. So like there was some movement on the two schools I applied for, in not that anyone got in or got it, whatever. There was nothing of that yet. We're still all waiting with bated breath. But in the little box where you can like talk, someone was like, anyone hear something? And then like everyone just like they'll respond and be like, oh my God, no, I haven't yet either. And so it's just like a really interesting world. I actually think there's something there to explore. But in addition to that, there's also a website called Grad Cafe. And what it is like, I think there's a forum too. I think I've read a forum before. There is a forum. And then there's also this section where people just like input updates. So they'll be like, so I only applied for USC and UCSD, but I have been seeing updates from other communication programs. So for example, yesterday was like a big rejection day from Cornell, like their School of Comm, or their comm program, whatever. So like I saw a bunch of updates of people just being like, got rejected from Cornell. So yeah, it all populates. It's like I don't even know what it's like. It like, I was like, is it like a Twitter? But not really. I mean, people can put like whatever they want. It's a whole thing. And so as you can tell, I'm like very invested in this world. And again, it's not like contributing stress either way. Like, it doesn't make me feel better, nor does it make me feel worse. It just is. It's like what I'm choosing to spend my time thinking about, because like I always have a thing that I'm thinking about hardcore, and I'd honestly rather it be this than the barrel pant, because if I start thinking about my barrel pant, like I'm gonna get really stressed out. Like I feel like I'm genuinely not feeling the outfit today. So if you see me today, like please, like actually don't lie to me. Like just either like say you like the barrel pant, or don't say anything at all. Or just say you like it. I think that's actually the goal. So anyway, that is my life. Welcome. Yeah, and another thing I wanted to discuss is that because it is January 29th, and on January 31st, it is going to be 4 years since my mom died. So this time of year, I just don't love. I think many of you know that like my dad passed away on December 17th. And so just the holidays in January, already January is like not a good month. I'm so sorry to like the Capricorns and the Aquariuses out there. Like, love that for you. For me, I don't love a January. I do think of the whole year, it has to be the worst month. I'm so sorry. And the best one, of course, would be May. But yeah, January, we're getting near it. And I think what I really don't like is thinking about like how much time has passed. In 4 years, it feels like nothing, but it feels like eternity at the same time. I was thinking about like when it had been 4 years since my dad passed away, because my dad died in 2013. And then 2017 of December was the 4 years. And that was when I was like a senior in college. So it felt so long at that time. You know what I mean? Like I felt like a different person in many ways, because I went from a high schooler to a college student, like almost graduating. And yeah, so it I don't think I thought about it in the same way. And of course I hadn't like processed his death too much, because I was just like, let me get distracted by like college. But yeah, I think 4 years since my mom has died feels weird. And I wish I had more eloquent words to say about it, but I don't feel like I do. I was watching this movie. It's called Sorry Baby, and I actually highly recommend it. But like it is about sexual assault, so it is like a tough movie, but the director is also like the main actor in it, and it's basically the story about this woman who it kind of follows her like 5 years of her life, and it kind of jumps between each of the years, and she is sexually assaulted by her professor in her MFA program, and then like after the 5 years, like she's a professor, like she kind of stays in that town, and you just see like her processes of her process of processing it. That doesn't sound right, but her 5 years of like processing and how she like lives her life following that assault and that trauma, and how it's like sort of so part of her like actions and her like headspace and stuff in those 5 years. And there's this part where I think it's like 3 years after it happened. Yeah, it is 3 years after it happened. And something happens that like triggers her, and so she's driving and like having a panic attack, and she pulls over and panics. By the way, this movie takes place in Maine, and it's so Maine. But anyway, she pulls over and is having this like panic, and then this guy who owns like a sandwich shop of the parking lot she had just parked in comes and checks in on her, and he's like, asking if she's okay and gets her a sandwich and stuff, and they're sitting down and talking, and he doesn't ask like what happened to her or anything like that. But because she was panicking, he asked like, oh, did this just happen? And she said it's been 3 years. And I feel like she was kind of like embarrassed to say it almost, or just like, I don't know. And then he responded, well, 3 years isn't very much time at all. Oh my God, wait, am I gonna cry? I don't know. I loved that moment because like I feel like even though there's not, I feel like there's this social kind of idea that like we should get over things in a certain amount of time, or that there's a timeline to grieve or to process or whatever it may be. And I loved that because when I watched that movie, it had been 3 years since my mom died. Well, I guess I watched it a couple months ago, but whatever, 3 years and however many months. And yeah, it's not very much time at all. Like literally my favorite person ever died. Like what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? But yeah, so I guess I'm thinking about her a lot today, and maybe I'll say something else. I'm like, maybe I should play music. I need to move on. Not from my mom. I mean, just the segment, but, we were in San Diego last week, and like I was telling a friend, and like it's fine, all's forgiven, if he's listening, which I don't know if he is, but all's forgiven. But I was talking to a friend because obviously like I'm hoping to get my PhD, like I'm hoping to get into USC, and updates will come on this show, but like that's what I'm hoping at this moment in time, right? And I was telling a friend about it, and we're talking because my husband obviously is applying for jobs in LA because we're hoping for LA. Or to go to LA next, like regardless of admissions or whatever happens. And I was telling a friend it, and I'm like, I keep asking people because like I love to do this. I'm like, wait, what's your gut say? Like, do you think we're going? Like, do you think we're going to LA? Like, what's the vibe? And my friend responded, and he was like, well, yeah, because Jack is like gonna work at blah blah blah. And I was like, wait, what? Like, what about me? Like, what do you mean? And I was like, I would be going to this program that's like super hard to get into, and super like if I got in that would be like crazy, and he was like, oh, is it that big of a deal? And I was like, wait, what are you talking about? Like it's not like, and then I had to explain to him that like a PhD is like you're getting paid to go, like it's like a job, it's like a whole thing, like you're literally being chosen to be part of this program and being paid to do research and learn and whatever. And so I think he felt bad after I said that, but it really offended me because first of all, I think it's sexist. That's a whole thing. But second, like I feel like a theme, which I hate, but a thing I think about a lot is just like I feel misunderstood a lot of the time. And actually we have to do a project. This is, oh my God, this makes me sound so emo. Like I really hate being like, oh my God, I'm so misunderstood. But like I do feel that way a lot of the time because like my mom knew me so well. You know what I mean? Like it honestly didn't matter if friends are not going to understand. Like you're not always going to have the same point of view as friends. Like, and like you're not like 24/7 invested in like what your friends are doing. Obviously, like you want to know what they're doing. You're in touch with them, but you don't know the ins and outs of it necessarily. And so I just, cause like my husband knows all the ins and outs, and then my mom knew all my ins and outs. And so like, I feel like it would hurt less to be misunderstood by friends, which is totally valid. I mean, the sexist thing was annoying, but, to be misunderstood by a friend if like my mom was here, because then I'm like, okay, well, there is someone else here who like fully understands me and like it doesn't matter as much. So yeah, I don't know. Like, is that so emo to say I feel misunderstood a lot? I hate it. I don't know. Whatever. Okay. So, for the rest of this show, I forgot to say, we have to do this project though in the death and dying class, like as our final, but we have to like submit our ideas for it in the next month. But I want to do like a zine about being misunderstood. Is that lame? Like, is that kind of emo? I don't know. I just feel like I've never explored that feeling of misunderstood. And I feel like I'm someone who puts so much of my emotions out there that like, yeah, that's all I want is to be understood. I feel like it sounds so lame. I'm sorry. Okay, let's just like go to music. But for the rest of Grief Support Group, I will be doing a Traitors update. Oh my God, Traitors update. That too, but I meant thesis update, and then talking a little bit about the Traitors. And then I'll be answering advice questions. So let's get into our first music break, and I will see y'all soon. Welcome back to Grief Support Group. I'm your host, Alex Piscatelli. I am still standing. And I'm still standing. So you just listened to Lose Control, Young Franco, and then Tornado Warnings, Sabrina Carpenter. And the truth is, okay, the truth of the matter, I'm sorry, I think the mic just got loud. The truth of the matter is that Sabrina Carpenter's album, Emails I Can't Send, it's what made me a fan, and it's her best one. It's her best one. Tornado Warnings has to be one of her best songs. And then the other song, Lose Control, I was just in Seattle with friends, my husband's friends, but friends, boys trip. And one of my friends put me on to that Lose Control song. Love it. Highly recommend. Anyway, we are in the part of the show where I discuss my thesis and also Traitors, because that is what is in my mind. So first and foremost, I am at the part of my thesis where I'm straight up collecting data. I am collecting data. I think I talked about this on the last episode, but just in case, and I also don't remember, So first of all, I'm looking at how fans of teen drama shows understand and interpret grief. So what I did for this is I was like, I'm going to recruit on fan pages. Think subreddits, Facebook groups. I was going to dabble in like those Twitter fan pages, but honestly, Twitter sucks, which like we all know. Or I should say Twitter used to be great. X sucks. And so now, I was trying to look for those fan pages because they always pop up on my feed, like the Summer I Turned Pretty little groups and stuff. It's actually so impossible to search for groups. Like, I'm not, like, try doing it. It's, their platform sucks. But anyway, so I ended up identifying a bunch of Facebook groups and subreddits to post in. And obviously, I needed to get moderator approval. One, because, like, these pages have rules and you want to make sure to follow them. But two, I especially want to make sure I follow them because I would like to continue studying fans and I want to be respectful. Like, I am a lurker of these pages. I am not a poster, but I do lurk these pages and I want to have a good relationship with these pages because I respect the communities, but also because who knows if I'm going to use these pages for continued research, which I would like to. So I had identified all these pages, got all these approvals, but then posting, because some pages like take longer to approve, and then some like subreddits, for example, have rules where it's like, oh, to post in this subreddit, like you need to, even though I got moderator approval, it said, oh, you need like comment karma on Reddit, which means you just like comment on things and people like your post or whatever, upvote it, which like I don't comment once again on Reddit. So like I don't have that. So some pages I couldn't post on right away. So I ended up only posting on 3 pages. And I have gotten like 120 responses. So I am doing a selection survey. So people fill out the survey and then from there I am picking interview participants. So it's a multimodal, study going on. But yeah, so got 120, which I was really nervous. I was telling my thesis committee when I defended last month, I said, well, they asked and I said, the thing I was most concerned about for finishing my thesis would be getting that data, right? Like getting participants. Because I'm confident, like, because I'm graduating this semester and I'm doing it. Like, that's what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to not. And so I knew I would write it. Like, I have no concerns. Obviously, I have concerns because, like, I get stressed writing and whatever, like, making sure my writing is good. But once I have the data, I have no concerns that I'll finish because why wouldn't I not? But collecting the data, like, that felt a little out of my control. Of course, like, there's variables I can control, like getting moderator approval, reaching out to like dedicated fan pages, etc. But like ultimately I felt like, oh my God, are people going to respond? Like, what's the vibe going to be? So I was nervous about that. Literally, I posted it on the first subreddit I posted it on. And mind you, the first one I posted it on was a 13 Reasons Why page, I'm pretty sure. So I'm like, this show hasn't even had a new season in a few years. And it immediately immediately got responses. I think it had been up for like 8 minutes and got like 5 responses. So I was like, oh my God, like this is sick. Like I literally, I feel like I chose right because I am not someone who's active in these pages, and I know how much these shows, how much I think about them and like want to talk about them and whatever. So like innately I kind of felt like, okay, people are gonna respond, but like I didn't know for sure, you know what I mean? Oh my God, I was so pleased. And so from there, I identified, so like I said, I have over 100 survey respondents, and then from there, I'm scheduling my interviews. I am doing them tomorrow and Saturday. I have 6 scheduled. I wanted anywhere from 6 to 10 interview participants. I want to get 8 total. I had reached out to 8, hadn't heard back from a couple. I'm sending follow-up emails today, but I want to do 8. That feels like a sweet spot for me. Obviously having 2 additional on top of the 6 is like obviously 6 to 10 sweet spot. I feel like 8 feels really good to me. I love the number 8. I do like the number 8. I love the number 18, and the number 8 is just a really beautiful round number. Like it just feels good. So I would like 8 people. And yeah, but I'm doing 6 of them. So by this time next week, like I will be like, oh my God, I did 6 interviews. And obviously, oh my God, like I have to prep for those. I'm doing semi-structured interviews. So what that means is I have like topics and questions written out that I'm going to ask likely. But I'm going to ask questions based off what they say too. So it's not going to stick to that strict like question plan that I currently have. I think it's going to be sick. I'm actually really excited. I'm nervous, but in a good way. I like being nervous in a good way. Like I low-key have chills. Oh my God. It might just be getting cold in here, but, or maybe my ankle is exposed because I have my barrel pant. Maybe that's why I'm cold. But anyway, I think it's going to go well. I'm prepared, I think, for whatever occurs. Like, I think worst that could happen is people don't show up. Second worst is like maybe someone like doesn't want to talk. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like there's factors, but I think it'll go well. I think people who responded are going to be excited to participate. And then from there, once I finish these interviews, I have to start transcribing and analyzing the data and doing all these things. So there's certainly much coming down the pike, but I am hopeful. I am joyful. I'm doing what I want to be doing. Yeah. Did I just say that? Like that I'm excited or I'm nervous in a good way. Like I love that feeling of like doing something new or doing something a bit nerve-wracking, but then like it's what you want to be doing. I love that feeling. And so that's where I'm at. I'm excited for my update for y'all next week. Certainly more updates to come. Obviously, I think a good part of this show is it keeps me accountable because I'm like, wait, I want to have more to say to my, I don't know, my grievers. What's our listener like fan base name? Not that oh my God, I'm not saying that I have fans. Okay, let me just move on. So now let's get to the Traitors update. But anyway, yeah, more to come on my thesis. Let's get to the Traitors update because obviously I'm watching the Traitors. I feel like it's the only like consistent thing I'm doing right now. Okay. I say that because like I was watching Desperate Housewives before. Honestly, I kind of fell off. It's just I felt like I don't know why I fell off. Honestly, I got kind of busy at the end of last semester. And Hulu has a lot of ads. And like I know Peacock has ads too, but whatever. I'm not like a binge TV watcher. Like I'm someone who I like having 1 episode a week. Like that's honestly my ideal because I like to process it. I like to listen to podcasts about it. Like I like to sit with my television. And so Peacock, oh my God, not Peacock. Traitors is perfect for me. So yeah, it's a really good season. Apparently tonight's episode is supposed to be explosive between Lisa Rinna and Colton. More to come there, I'm sure, but I can't wait for it. But I was gonna say the other thing that because I guess I always have like certain media that I'm consuming at a certain time. So like Traitors, obviously. In between that though, so what I do, okay, let me just say this first and foremost. So in my death and dying class, we had to do intros, and it was like, oh, your name, your pronouns, like what you're you're excited for about this class, like what you want to get from it, and then also like a fact about you that like not a lot of people know. And I was like, okay, well, the truth of the matter is that I love talking about myself and my personality traits. So like, I feel like people know a lot about me, but I think the biggest thing, because like I give off a very Gemini moon aura, you know what I mean? Like a Leo rising vibe to the situation. Like I'm a Taurus, and I do feel like people know that, but like I feel like I come across, I could be wrong, I feel like I come across very Gemini and Leo. Like those placements I do feel like stand out in many ways. And Taurusness, like I am a Taurus. Like I think there's been a long time where I tried to deny this fact, and I used to say like I'm not a Taurus, like what's going on? I was like, I feel more like a Gemini because I am on the cusp. And then someone once told me, check your moon sign. And so I checked my moon sign and it's Gemini, and I'm like, yeah, okay, astrology is real. I get it. I totally understand it now. But yes, I do feel like I have Taurus traits. Like I love being comfortable. I love looking good. I love whatever. Like there's all these things, right? And so I was like, what do I say to my class? Like I want to, because I don't know any of these like psychology majors. I want to give like a good impression. Like what do I say? And so the thing I said was that, okay, I'm a bit of a Taurus. I was like, I like a routine, because again, I didn't process it in this moment, but I do like a routine. I was like, I like having my latte in the morning. I like having Jack got me like a matcha kit for the evening. I like having my matcha in the evening. By the way, I can have caffeine and then fall asleep easily. So I love having my matcha, and I like playing my Sudokus at night. Like I have to do all these things. The latte makes me happy. The matcha makes me cozy. And the Sudoku makes me think. I feel like those are the three things that any person needs. But also, so those were what I said. I was like, damn, I really am a Taurus. But anyway, so as I make my matcha, I actually love doing this because obviously like you do with the whisk and it's the whole process. It feels very in the moment. Like I love doing it. That being said, I have like a screen in front of me as I'm doing it. But like if you weren't someone like dependent on constant entertainment, like you certainly like it's even more therapeutic. I do find it therapeutic in general to do it even with my laptop going. But what I like doing is I like being at the kitchen counter, like working on my matcha on my computer. So for those unfamiliar, Rob Cesternino, who was just on the Traitors, he got eliminated Ban or Murder in Plain Sight on the second episode or third episode, second, I think. I don't know why they dropped like 3 episodes at a time, but he is one of my favorite Survivor contestants of all time. And he has a podcast called Rob Has a Podcast. It is the reason why I do radio. It is the reason why I do podcasts. Like I started listening in like maybe 2014. It's my reason for why I do this. Like I'm not even joking. I love him. I look up to him. But he also does on his YouTube, he hasn't done it too many times, but he'll take like Survivor, Big Brother, like different people to play like games of Traitors and Mafia, like do like a live stream of it and then uploads it to his YouTube, but they'll play games like that. So I watched all the episodes, and mind you, these are like 3-hour-long YouTube videos, and I just sit there making my matcha and watch them. I don't watch it all at once. Like I pause it, like whatever. Like I watch maybe like an hour a day or whatever it may be. But so now they're playing a game called, or the one I'm watching, because I already watched all the Mafia and Traitors ones. Now I'm watching them play Blood on the Clock Tower, which like I genuinely don't yet understand. It's like everyone gets, there's like townsfolk and then there's like the bad people. So it's like very similar to Traitors and Mafia, and the Mafia is similar to Traitors. So it's like very similar in that way, but like then everyone has their own role. So there's like the imp is like the main bad person, like the main traitor, you could say. And then there's like different roles that get different. So like the good people, like there's like oh my god, I can't even think of, like there's like the recluse, and there's like the I genuinely like have just been watching, I'm on my third game of it, third 3-hour-long game of watching it. But I want to play these games. Like the truth of the matter is I want to play Mafia at like a dinner party. I want to set up a dinner party and play Mafia, and I really hope to god I am Mafia, because like I know I could do it. And so honestly, the truth of the matter is that they are casting for like a civilian, like non-reality stars Traitors, and I low-key want to apply because I actually think I'd be a good traitor. And here's why. Okay, here's why. Let me tell you why. I would be a good traitor because I think I give off a very like girly pop vibe. Like I give out, again, Leo rising vibe, but I feel like I'm a really intense person, but I don't think you know that necessarily from first impressions. So I feel like I could be a traitor because I feel like I could pretend to not be a traitor and I could kill people mercilessly. I'm trying to use good vocabulary. Anyway, I feel like I could do it. That's all I'm saying. And I feel like I treat my grad program like a game of Mafia. I treat my everyday. And the thing is, like, I have been with friends, like, we play like Uno or we play different things, especially around the holidays. We're playing a lot of games. And like, I make a game really intense. Like, I don't know how it happens, but it happens. And my best friend Megan always says, like, I always win games. And it's because, like, I treat it like a strategic, like, it's not just Uno. This is a intense strategy game with alliances and all the things. So anyway, I think I might make a video. I have to like really plot out what I'm gonna say, but I feel like my biggest thing is that like I'm intense. Like I'm intense, but I have like a girly pop rising. Like I think that's the vibe. Anyway, okay, so that has been our Traitors update and our thesis update. We're gonna get into advice questions. First, let's play a little more music. I've been talking nonstop. Oh my god. Okay, let's play some more music now. Welcome back to Grief Support Group. I'm your host, Alex Piscatelli, and you just heard Show Me by Bruno Mars. By the way, I have not gotten any concert tickets, mind you. I think on my last episode I was saying, oh my god, like a normal sale for the Bruno Mars tickets goes on sale next week. Or the next day. Guess who forgot to try for them? So anyway, and then Ariana Grande apparently is like releasing more tickets, but now she's saying this is like going to be her last tour ever or something, and I'm just like, it actually kind of pissed me off because I'm like, why didn't you do stadiums? She's doing arenas, and I really don't understand. Anyway, that's beside the point. But I'm your host, Alex Piscatelli, and we are at the part of the show where I do advice questions. So we have 2 today, and if you want to ask an advice question for a future episode, please do so at bit.ly/KSFS advice. Okay, let's get into it. So the first question, someone said, honestly, I don't even want a romantic partner right now. What I really want is a best friend. How do you find someone like this as an adult? I find this to be especially difficult given that everybody is busy with work, personal projects, and their romantic relationships. I love this question. We've had ones in the past on this show about like finding friendships in general as an adult, which I think is important to emphasize in this moment. So I'm going to say it again, and then I'll get deeper into like the best friendship of it all. But I think the biggest thing you can do when you're seeking a best friend as an adult is to do activities that like are important to you. And it can look like a plethora of things. Like, I think, like, depending on your interests. Okay, let's just say this. Because I don't like pickleball, so I'm not using pickleball as an example. But let's say you like doing tennis. I feel like that's something people do, and that you could be in more intimate spaces and you could talk to like people. You know what I mean? Or there's like, I've talked about this before, but like the junk journaling, like there's clubs that do that. I feel like I just saw it got advertised, or not advertised, but it popped up on my Instagram feed that there's like a craft club coming to San Francisco where people are gonna like crochet and do different crafts together. I feel like we're in an era right now where I think a lot of people are getting tired of the social media of it all. I feel like a lot of people our age, let's just say in our 20s and 30s, I think a lot of people are like, why are we online all the time and not being in our communities? And especially when these social media apps are literally just intentionally making us addicted to them, and so we can see an ad every other post and nothing from our friends. I think we're all getting really tired of it, and I think people are going to start to do things in person a lot more. So I think first and foremost, if you're looking for meaningful friendships in your life, find out or evaluate or think through what is meaningful to you. Like, what activities, what interests are meaningful to you, and how can you further get involved in those activities? Another example, and I actually, when and if we move to LA next, there's this, it's called the Heavy Manners Library, I think it's called. But they do like a monthly like grief cafe, like a grief and death, where they like people can come together and talk about those themes and topics. And I don't know what it's about, but I find that curious. Like, I'm really interested in that. But yeah, I think does that make sense? Like, finding out what's meaningful to you and seeking out those activities, and then you will meet like-minded people through those. Of course, you're asking about like a best friend in particular and finding that as an adult. You're saying it's difficult because people are busy with work, personal projects, and romantic relationships. And I think that's very true. I was talking about this recently with some friends where like I have a friend and they're single and they are like craving more connection with some of their friends. But of course, the other friends who are maybe in relationships or focusing more on career at that certain time, like aren't hanging out with that friend as much. So I think it can be hard. I think it can be really hard because like I'll admit it, for me, like I'm busy a lot. And it's not even like it's like, I just think it kind of, the tide changes as you get older. Like when you're in your early 20s, like you're probably in closer proximity to a lot of your close friends. And like you're working jobs, but like a lot more people are single, or if they're like not single, it's like not, I don't want to be rude, but it's like not as serious when you're like in your early 20s maybe. And like you're hanging out with friends more, right? And you're not doing like personal projects and whatever. Now at 29, almost 30, like I'm in grad school. Like I do this radio show. Like I am married. Like I have my cat who I love to watch the Traitors with. Like, and I'm someone who needs my 8 hours of sleep. Okay. Like, so there's only a certain number of hours a day, and we're all focusing on certain things. Like I have friends who like are having kids or like thinking about starting to have kids, and that's obviously going to be another shift in what friendship looks like. So I say all this to validate that yes, it is difficult. I think it's very difficult. And I think what I would ask yourself is, what are your expectations out of friendships? Like my best friend Megan, like we live like 20 minutes away, but we don't see each other that often. But like I know that will hang out. You know what I mean? And when I say not see each other often, I would say we hang out maybe like once every few weeks. And it's just busy, and that's what works for both of us. And so I think you should ask yourself, what is your expectation out of the friendships in your life? What do you want? I think asking yourself what you want can be helpful to find what you want. If you want a friend, and a really close friend that you will hang out with, you know, weekly or more often, I think you need to find people in your neighborhood. Because I think it can be hard, especially, I don't know where you live, but I'm in the Bay Area. It can be hard to go to different places. Especially, I don't drive, unfortunately. I drive to school, but I can't like drive on freeways at this time. Hopefully soon, LOL. But yeah, I think really think about what your expectations of friendships are. One thing I would also suggest, and I'm not sure what your current, scope of friendship looks like currently, I would consider going deeper with friends that you already love. Like, who are your closest friends at this time? Why do you feel like you maybe don't have that best friendship that you currently are seeking? Are they busy? Do they have a job that's demanding? Like, what is it? Could you maybe schedule more time to hang out with them or more time to talk to them, or ask if it's something, if your hangouts, like one thing I was actually considering, I actually have to re-bring this up to my best friend. I was like, I want to start seeing, like, we should see one movie together because I have like an unlimited at Regal. I was like, we should start seeing a movie together once every 2 weeks, like make like Friday night or Thursday night or whatever, like our movie night. I'm actually going to re-up that to her because I like that idea. But like, what is a thing you could do with your closest friend now to be more connected with them, whether it's like a movie night regularly or getting coffee regularly or playing games regularly, whatever it may be. I think as you seek new friendships, because that may take time, I think focus on how you can get deeper with the ones that you love and have currently. Like I said, everyone's busy, and I think we need to give each other grace with that, and I think you do. I'm not implying that you don't, but I think it makes sense, like what you're saying, because I totally see it. And I've talked about that to friends, literally so recently. And yeah, I think just evaluate what you're looking for. And that's the best thing to do. Does that make sense? So seek new friendships, evaluate what you're looking for, and invest or grow or water, shall we say, like a plant, the friendships that you already have, and kind of mold them to be what you're looking for in ways too. I hope that makes sense. Thank you for asking this question. I think it's a huge thing that a lot of us are thinking about, because so many people, especially in your like late 20s or in 30s, are in different stages of life from the people around you. So I think it can be hard to feel connected, but I think doing things that make you feel connected and that work for both of you is the biggest thing you can do. Okay, I hope that was helpful. I actually really love that question, so thank you for asking that. Okay, we're gonna take a little bit of a music break. If you want to ask another question, you can do so at bit.ly/KSFS. Oh my God, bit. I don't know what's going on today. I'm still standing, by the way, in my barrel pant. But bit.ly/KSFS advice. Okay, we're going to play one more song and then get into our final advice question. See ya soon. You just listened to In My Room, Troye Sivan. Okay, that song, I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I've actually been wanting to play it for a bit on this show. The time has come. The truth of the matter is I talk too much, so we can't get to them all, okay? But we are back with Grief Support Group, and I'm going to answer the final advice question of the day. Then I'm going to send you all off into, I don't know, the rest of your days, the rest of your evenings, whatever time you're listening to this, if you're listening after or if you're listening to live the rest of your day. Okay, final advice question. This person asked, how do I support a parent who's relying on alcohol because he lost a brother and a close cousin all in 1 month? First of all, thank you for asking this question. Honestly, I am going to admit at the top that I feel like this is out of my wheelhouse. I will try to answer it the best that I can. And I understand you're asking this to me, probably knowing that I might not have all the answers. And hopefully this is just a starting point. But I'm sorry that your family is going through this and that you're going through this and that your dad is going through this. I feel like it's a lot to deal with. So I'm sorry this is all happening. So I guess like the first thing I did was I did some Googling because I don't know how to entirely answer this the right way. So what I'm gonna say, like a resource I found, again, as a sort of starting point, and then I want to discuss like how you're doing. But first, there's a resource called the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. That's SAMHSA. If you Google that, they have a lot of resources online, and what that includes is a 24/7 helpline. And so if you're looking for like particular questions or someone to like talk through kind of what to do and how to help your parent, I think that could be a really good starting point, because again, I don't feel like this is in my wheelhouse, and I don't want to give like bad advice or bad information. So I would for stuff related specifically to like the use and maybe abuse of alcohol, especially as he's grieving, I would not recommend, I don't know, if it feels right, I would see what the resources are. And maybe you've already gone there. But I just wanted to put that out there because I think there can be a lot of issues with 24/7 helplines in ways, like all the different ones, because there's only so much they can do. But I feel like it maybe could be a good starting point, and maybe they could point you to more help and more resources, and especially if you have particular questions. I think that could maybe be a starting point. The next thing I wanted to ask you, because I mean, this is a heavy thing, and these are your parents' losses, his brother, his close cousin. But how are you doing? These are losses, in your family. Are you okay? And I'm assuming it's like, hard to lose that family and then also see how your dad's reacting to it and also want to help your dad and all these things. I just want you to, because you're saying, how do I support my parent? How do I support him? But not necessarily like, how do I feel supported, which I hope you do. And I hope you're in a place and that's why you're supporting him. But I feel like take the steps to help yourself too. Make sure you're doing okay. It's like this is so silly, but it's like that analogy of like on the flight, you have to put your mask on before you help someone else. So like, I hope you're doing, rituals and being in with loved ones and all these things to help yourself too. Because that's a lot of losses in 1 month. So I said the first and foremost thing that you should focus on is taking care of yourself. And of course, these losses are within your family, and I don't know kind of what your family structure looks like or how big your family is. But I think a huge thing can be bringing in the community, your community, and trying to, organize something with your dad and with other loved ones so people can be all together, maybe confiding in another family member or loved one about your concerns about your parent and like wanting to help him. I think the biggest thing we can do in any loss or tragic event or trauma or, whatever word for it is to be in community and help each other, which obviously you're doing by asking this question. But I think that starts with like helping yourself. So I think, and I hope you are treating yourself as kindly as you're treating your parent. I don't know. I don't know how to answer this. I hope that's helpful, because I feel like all these things are like, so, I don't know. You're probably already thinking all these things, right? So like, I don't feel like I'm like helping too much. But I guess I just want to like validate what you're saying and like hopefully like push you to take care of yourself too, because like it's important to help those around us, but it can be kind of moot if we're not helping ourselves first. So thank you for asking this question. I'm really sorry to hear about the losses in your family, and I hope you are feeling as okay as you can at this time, and I hope you're there for your parent and your parent feels supported and that he's doing okay. I'm really sorry to hear that, but thank you so much for asking this question, and take care of yourself and be in community. Sending you all the love. But this has been another episode of Grief Support Group. If anyone else has any advice questions that they want to ask for a future episode, you can do so at bit.ly/KSFS advice. I'm your host, Alex Piscatelli. We are going to end, of course, with some Ariana Grande, because I can't have a show without her. So I will be ending with In My Head Ariana Grande, but I hope you all have a wonderful week. Sending all the love, and I'll see you next week. I'm here every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, because I have some listeners from all over Pacific time. Make sure to listen, and I'll see y'all next week. Have a good one. Bye.